But in the course of running around the country talking about the book, I get a call. Greenfield, Iowa would like me to come back. They want to celebrate. And I agreed to go back there because I'm selling the book. I'm thrilled to be going back to Iowa. Nobody else was available to go back with me. A lot of them had passed on. And I went back alone. And it was a great evening. And the governor introduced me, and there must have been 300 people at dinner. And now, I couldn't imagine where the hell she was going with this. She said, I read your book. She said, when you were in your 10th summer, you were in Woodstock, Connecticut. Your father was in prison. When your sister had disappeared, and you were in the only cottage the whole family, all the relatives could afford, and it was crowded with families and kids, but you were altogether alone, and nobody understood the pain you were in, and you couldn't describe the pain in your book. It was so strong. She said, but you had a gray and blue sweatshirt. And you used to put that on in the late afternoon. And in that sweatshirt, you felt stronger and taller and tougher and wiser, smarter. And you used to walk down Savin Rock to a place called Sloppy Joe's. And among strangers at Sloppy Joe's in your gray and blue sweatshirt, you were, more comfortable, more at home, more yourself. You felt better than you did with your family back in the cottage. She said, well, you were my blue and gray sweatshirt. And I wept. And she wept. And when I walked away from Amy, now, as I said, 51, I walked away feeling like I was still wearing my blue and gray sweatshirt. Thank you.
Norman Lear is a celebrated American television writer and producer of sitcoms including All in the Family, Sanford and Son, One Day at a Time, The Jeffersons, and Good Times. In 1999, President Clinton bestowed on him the National Medal of Arts, noting that Norman Lear has held up a mirror to the American society and changed the way we look at it. He received the Kennedy Center Honor for Lifetime Artistic Achievement, and his memoir, Even This I Get to Experience, is available now. Norman told us, I am grateful to say that the stars of my life have aligned every day of my 99 years. Our next story comes to us from an Atlanta Grand Slam where we partner with Georgia Public Radio. Here's Dylan Killian, aka Cola Rum, live at the Mark.
$308.
Just pulled into Arsenal Station. Either switch cabs now or continue to listen to this asinine debate all the way to Fort McPherson. Now, when I first walked into this dispute 10 minutes prior at Lindbergh Station, I wasn't surprised. Those of us who frequent the MARTA know after 10 p.m. is when the more extroverted members of the Atlanta community ride the train. It's when you can hear the latest street news from young drug dealers heading to their traps, loud indecipherable soliloquies from the mentally disturbed, baby mamas giving relationship advice ass backwards, and random one-man rap karaoke performances from marijuana-inspired individuals. So I wasn't surprised when I got on the southbound train to run smack dead into a passionate debate. Nor was I shocked when I was immediately called upon by one of the participants to help strengthen his argument. He said, yo, God, you an 80s baby? I said, yeah. He said, yo, tell these cats that the late 80s, the golden age of hip-hop, was the greatest era to be alive. I had walked into a three-sided debate on the greatest era to exist within. Before I could respond and tell him that it was all relative to the individual, the second debater spoke. He said, yo, dawg, don't listen to him, man. His whole argument is weak. It's biased because he's stuck in the 80s. Now, when the second debater said this, I turned back to Lance to corroborate what was put forth. I knew that his name was Lance because that's what the big 80s 14-karat gold nameplate spelled across his chest. Complementing the nameplate was a Kango bucket hat, gazelle glasses, a terracloth Adidas sweatsuit, and a vintage pair of 1986 Run DMC Adidas. Hence, one of the standard uniforms of somebody stuck in the 80s. Then Lance corrected the second debater saying that he wasn't stuck in the 80s, he just liked being honest, because that was his era. That's when the third debater spoke. She said, and as I said before, your era ain't got nothing on the 70s. Then Lance, being the chronologist that he was, asked which era in the 70s. There was three. The Black Exploitation era, the disco age, and the post-disco age. She had to be more specific. She said, whenever the movie Cleopatra Jones came out, people said I looked just like her. And she stood on her feet, put her hands on her hips, and arched up her chin as if she was about to sash across the stage. I thought, oh my God. Because what I perceived was a red church turban was an authentic Indian turban, complemented with some leather wrist bangles and a low-cut chiffon blouse with maroon sleeves. Thus, one of the preferred outfits of a shiro in a Black Exploitation movie. As I sat there observing her posturing in silence, the second debater believed blurted out what I was thinking. This chick stuck in the 70s. I knew that belief name was belief, and belief started talking in the third